Exactly. Okay, well, let's talk internally though, because you're bringing up a good point. It's the internal improvement versus the external additions. What can they do internally with their talent to change their fortunes? Now, there's two ways to look at it. Do you think that their fortunes are where they're at because of personnel, or do you think it's because of scheme? If you think it's because of scheme, then you got to have meetings about what plays to run, what coverages to run, what's your mindset. There's that. I think it has something to do as well with the players themselves. So I'll give you a couple of examples of changes I would make. And I love Jake Brendel, but I think I would start John Feliciano at center coming out of the bye. Feliciano's a bigger, broader, stronger, give you more push in the run game. He's a center. He's not really a guard. He can play both, but I like him better at center. And I know Brendel was a Pro Bowl alternate. I know he's smart, but I think I would go from Brendel to Feliciano. I did not like seeing DJ Reader shove Jake Brendel 4 yards off the line of scrimmage. And if he can do it, Fletcher Cox is going to be able to do it in week 13. And you got to have some of these wins. So I'm not blaming Jake, and I love Jake. I think he's a good man and a good football player. But I think I need a little bit more power at the point, and I think that's my first change is I'm going to Feliciano at center over Brendel. That'll be my first change to the offensive line. I'm trying to get Trent back, obviously, as fast as possible. I think he will be back after the bye week. Hopefully you get Debo back as well. I think I've got to see either Danny Gray come back or I've got to find some other speed element to inject into this offense to create a little bit more room. So I got to see something. I got to see something at wide receiver that's a little bit different, a little bit more dynamic. I need a dynamic.
What it might be time to do? Because again, who are you trading for? Willie Snead got called up from the practice squad. I don't even think he needed to wash his jock strap when the day was over. He did, unless he broke a sweat during warmups. I don't even know if he played. But it might be time to put Christian McCaffrey in the slot.
That was that. You're reading my mind. That was my next move. Is I wouldn't mind if I can't find that speed receiver, Damon. Bingo. I'm doing that. I'm flexing out McCaffrey and I'm putting Mason in the backfield. I want to see JP Mason. He's 230. He's powerful. Yeah, he may put it on the carpet every now and then, but he's too talented. He's too big, too fast, too talented. So those would be my changes. I'm Feliciano for Brendel, flexing out, looking for more dynamic playmakers on the perimeter. If I can't find them, I'll move McCaffrey out there, but I'm getting JP Mason on the field. Those are my offensive adjustments.
Well, and I do think that there is a correlation in this 3-game losing streak, and it's basically the 3 games that neither Trent Williams nor Debo played in. I mean, Debo was out of that Cincinnati game so early. You can make the argument he missed that game too, almost the entire thing.
Yeah.
So, his biggest
impact. You mean the Minnesota game?
No. When Debo went into the blue tent in Cincinnati and hasn't come out since.
Cleveland, you mean? Cleveland.
Cleveland. Sorry, I'm getting my Ohio C's mixed up. Sorry about that. Yeah, when they were done playing Canton, Larry. But look.
So they've missed Debo the last few weeks. So obviously Debo is a dynamic player in this offense. So you got him coming back. You got Trent, but I would go with Feliciano. And I know I'm not putting it on, but I'm not blaming it all on Brendel. But the one guy that I do have, or if you want to stick with Brendel, maybe I'm pulling Burford and I'm playing Feliciano at right guard, because Burford's having the darndest time, getting any push and not having penalties. But I've got to improve my offensive line somehow, some way, and they've got some guys there. And I think I got to take a look at him. Feliciano started all of last year with the New York Giants. He can start, and he can start at right guard or he can start at center. But he's a big, broad, physical guy, and I think he might give you a little bit more pop. It might not be the answer, but I think it's worth trying. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I think they badly need another linebacker. They either got to trust their young backers to get out there and play. They can't, I mean, right now it's like, Greenlaw is just getting more and more and more dinged every single week. He's got to have some help against the run. And to me, I got to find a way to get Jair Brown on the field. He's too young, too physical, he's just too physical to be on the sidelines
too, Larry. He's got ball skills.
Yeah. So I got to see that. I got to either see Luter or Womack, and I got to sit Oliver, or I got to find a slot corner. If it was me, I would be focusing on the Commanders for Montez Sweat and the Colts for Kenny Moore. I think Kenny Moore is a really top tier slot corner. I mean, look what the Eagles did. They had a good safety in Edmonds, and they moved him for a great safety in Byard. You've got a decent player in Oliver. You need to get a great player. What nobody ever talks about is that Emmanuel Mosley, even though he was hurt, was a great freaking player. And he was a striker off the edges, very physical on the edge against the run. And right now, it's like they lack some physicality and speed on the perimeter on both sides of the ball, and you lack some striking ability. I need some guys who are willing to strike. Right now you don't stop the run because you want to, and you don't stop the run because we're going to get a bunch of guys around the ball. That they're getting a bunch of guys around the ball, but nobody's striking anybody with any force. When was the last time you saw the Niners have a woo hit where it's like, oh man, did you see that hit? The only guy who can provide that right now is Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner. Everybody else is like,
right. And every other one from Dre is a flag. So, it's to me, there's a lot more than needing a woo hit. They need more points. And this is they got to have more points. Yeah. And this is okay. So you think everybody's stressed out right now? 3 in a row going into the
have to end. They're turning it over too much in the red zone right now.
Larry, they got a bye week. They're going to have a clear rest advantage over the Jaguars. If they go to Jacksonville and they lose with 14 days to get ready for that game, with Kyle having 14 days to dial up everything that he has in his power to get an offense going and cooking. Let's not pretend that Kyle is, woke up and is now bad at all of this. He's not bad at all of this, but 3 weeks in a row have been uninspired. They've got a rest advantage, which we all saw absolutely played into the hands of the Cincinnati Bengals. Zach Taylor destroyed Kyle Shanahan and Steve Wilks yesterday. Destroyed them. Whatever Kyle's plan was, Zach Taylor had a better one. And he had more time to put it together. Short week, long week. It wasn't set up to be a good day for the 49ers, and it wasn't.